This is Radar from the Entertainment Blog coming at you with another show, Movie Reviewers Observation. Finally back to the normally scheduled program of Saturday. Even if it isn't a full 7-movie slate, 5 movies are good enough. So the first thing I watched this week was God is a Bullet, and Jamie Foxx is the end credit. The producer put his money in there, but here's the negatives. It's 155 minutes. And I will tell you this, I thought the movie should have ended like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. You're like, cool, save the day, things are wrapped up. No, it just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. You're just like, it didn't even need to be 2 hours, let alone 2.5 hours. So it's this weird concept where this detective, his wife is murdered and his daughter's kidnapped by some cult. And he has to recruit an ex-cult member who was one of those girls who were abducted years ago because she knows the layout and who to go to and how to get the kid back. And it's this whole journey where it's very confusing if what's going on with his boss, his cousin, his uncle, whatever it is, the one who finds his wife murdered because there's 2 people coming into the home at the same time, and if they're all cops or not. And then January Jones is married to, I don't know, the person he's related to or his boss. I don't know. It's very, very stupid and very, very confusing. That aspect of the movie, and then at the same time, are they involved in the murder and the cult? I have no idea. It was very confusing, and the whole weird thing was the only way to be a part of this thing was you have to get tattoos, not just on your face, but they've been called like decals, and you have to get tattoos all over your body for you to fit in. And I swear, I feel like they used their whole budget on tattoo art on every single human being in this movie, no matter if they were actors you've heard of or they're just extras, because there was so many people with tattoos. It was really stupid. And then Jamie Foxx had tattoos and weird deformities to his skin. It was weird, and he's got to get all these tattoos in one sitting. And 99% of people I've talked to about this go, that's not physically possible for the human being to get that many tattoos in one sitting. That's not how it works. So it's really convoluted and stupid, and it was so long and confusing. So horrible movie, should never have been made. God is a Bullet is a horrible idea. Next movie we watched, Assassin's Club. Not terrible. The bald black guy in the movie, he's been in a lot of those Bruce Willis straight-to-DVD movies playing cops or detectives, so that's what he was doing. Noomi Rapace, people have seen her before from Jack Ryan, Daniela Melchior from Suicide Squad, and then Sam Neill, who I really don't know what else he's been in besides the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole. And again, this movie is an hour 51 minutes with credits, but it's not too long. And obviously, Henry Golding, we know from Crazy Rich Asians and G.I. Joe, Snake Eye. So the point of this movie, it was he's an assassin and he's on a mission, but then other people are trying to kill him, and it turns out that there's a hit, not just for him, but a bunch of other assassins. It's like a free-for-all of every assassin trying to kill each other, and they're all different messes. A guy who poisons, a guy who does this, a guy who does that, and they're all trying to kill this guy. And apparently they're all like apprentices of Sam Neill, and they've all worked for him before, like Henry Golding's character, and they all like special ops in a certain way. And then you trying to figure out why they're trying to kill him, and he's got a girlfriend, and he doesn't want her involved because she's being targeted. And it's this one woman who you think is in the government, but then she's lying and cheating through a revenge story with some rich woman and her father being killed, but it's her uncle. So there's a lot of extra convoluted stuff, which is why it was an hour 15 minutes. But it was overall not a bad action movie with actors that I've heard of before, so not bad. And then I watched the anime movie Sing a Bit of Harmony. And it was like a High School Musical anime that was, 147 minutes, where this girl's mother is working nonstop making this AI, and then this AI gets sent into the world as a test to see if it can blend in as a teenager, and it's about the adventure that her daughter is kind of a loner with some of the popular kids, and some of the other kids hang out with this AI and the consequences of all of it. And it was very nice. It was interesting, but it was a lot of singing and music, and some of the characters can't sing. You have like a jock, you have the popular girl, you have the nerd dude, you have the loner girl. So it was a little bit of everything, and it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the best anime I've seen. Then I watched the movie Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So the best thing about this movie is it's barely 80-something minutes before the credits start rolling. The worst part of this movie was, okay, if it's, free license now to use like Mickey Mouse, like the old black and white one, and you can use Winnie the Pooh and his character, then guess what? Make CGI animals that are killing people or something, you know, because they've done the Winnie the Pooh thing with Ewan McGregor, I think, or was it Domhnall Gleeson, where they're like stuffed animals, which I thought was not getting the point of them because they're actually supposed to be animals. But it was just big hulking dudes, one with a pig warthog mask and one with a yellow bear mask, and he's wearing like a Lagerman's outfit, and he's just like apparently indestructible, and he's slashing people with his hands, but he doesn't have claws. It was very low budget in a way that if they really tried to, it would be like actual creatures with CGI or some sort of special effects makeup to make people look like creatures, but they just look like humanoid people. They just look like dudes with masks. So that was the dumbest part about it. They didn't really show the rest of the character. They had a guy who was Christopher Robin, but he was barely in it. It was more about him just killing random women who were out on like break or something. And they're coming with another one, so sorry for that. Yeah, I wanted to watch this. I thought it'd be interesting, but it was just disgusting, gory, and a low-budget horror bad movie. Like, it was a horror film, but it was a horror. Then I watched this movie called Maggie Moore's, with an S in, you know, like that, where John Hamm plays, like, a police chief. He's got a foreign guy as his detective. Tina Fey's the neighbor in the movie, and it's barely 90-something minutes, so it's not bad. I'm not going to say this is the worst movie I've ever watched or the best movie, but it was a solid average movie where John Hamm is a television royalty, like Mad Men and all this other stuff, but he has been in some really dumb movies, and Tina Fey, when she's in dumb movies, they're funny comedies that are really good, and she's in TV shows as well. Obviously, that murder mystery movie she was in, I thought was just too long and long-winded and not the best movie, but I think she should stick to comedy, because in this one, she's like the divorcee, who's John Hamm's love interest. So the point of the movie was, it wasn't really about John Hamm. It was really about this dude who was had in trouble in marriage and finances, and he owns like a sub-franchise, and he's not doing the way he's supposed to be, and he does business with a shady guy, and his wife finds out, and his wife's going to tell on him, so he hires someone to try to kill his wife, and it's a very weird thing because his wife's name is Maggie Moore, and there's another lady in the exact same town, a few blocks away named Maggie Moore. So the mystery is why both Maggie Moores being killed. It was a very, very odd movie that they said in the beginning of the movie, some of this is true. It wasn't great, it wasn't horrible, it just was, okay, cool, John Hamm is trying to figure out a murder mystery, and yeah. So unfortunately, I think the best movie that I watched this week was Assassin's Club, because it was a movie about assassins trying to kill each other. Even if it was a little bit convoluted with an assassin being in the government, but not in the government, and then revenge from the girl about her father dying, but her uncle. But it wasn't terrible. God of the Bull is definitely a movie that should never been created. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is a movie that should never been created. Sing a Bit of Harmony probably should have been made, but it was an anime movie, and Maggie Moore, as I mentioned, was a watchable movie. Thanks again to listening to another edition of Movie Reviews Observations number 211. For On the Radar, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.